Okay. 1 second. So now everybody can open your camera, also your speaker too. I want to see you guys. Hi. Hi. Thank you for all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Here?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay, come in. Yay! How are you feeling?
Good. Tired. I always forget how tiring that piece is until I do it.
Yeah, probably feel different because we stuck at home a long time.
So.
Yeah, she came here at 12 o'clock, right? Yeah, she had 5 hours herself. Okay, so now it's time for all of us. So if you guys have any question, it's about her choreography or about her anything. Yes. So let's see, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna ask, can you maybe unmute yourself? Are you guys familiar with that? Yeah, I can see Brandy is unmute. Maybe I can ask to ask unmute. Yeah. Is anyone having trouble to unmute yourself? Let's see, some check going on. Where do you get yours? Oh, here's a question. Where do you get your inspiration?
For this one, it was truly just impulse, and I've made changes throughout because I started this piece a year ago. So when I first choreographed it a year and a half ago, it was solely just impulse, what I felt I wanted to do, and I was also in college at the time, so it was probably brewed out a lot of stress. So stress was a huge motivator for that, but now it's kind of just taken new forms and made changes, and now it's just kind of an expression of whatever happens to be going on in my brain in that day, in that time of life.
If you have a question, if you want to speak up, you can raise your hand. Oh, there's a few. I'm going to go with Lita first.
So Lachan, I love that music. What is that piece?
It is called The Song of the Seville by Dead Can Dance.
It's beautiful. And I just love the control that you exhibited in all your movements. I was just blown away by your performance. It was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of control.
Yeah.
Things too.
Question.
Okay, Mari.
Yes. Thank you, Lachan. Tell me why you kept on with the dance without music.
Originally, when I did it, it was because I had a deadline and the music ran out. But I kind of liked it. I've been playing with different things and trying to use different songs as well. I just haven't found anything yet that really fits what I feel the piece is about. But also, I kind of like the silence at the end in some ways, because it's like, it's kind of left to interpretation.
Yes. Yep.
And
yeah, so I was just curious, kind of going off those two questions. You said you started this in college and you're performing it now, and then the silence is like kind of open to interpretation. Do you think that that silence means something different to you now than it did when you first created it?
The piece in itself means something different to me now than when I created it. That's why I like doing it multiple times, is because it's always something different. So, yeah, very much so.
And I know there's other question here. Oh, so here's another question. Is it more improve or plan choreography?
The piece itself is completely choreographed. There are a few things in it that I guess you could say are up to improv, like where I'm circling with my arms, going up my leg and on my torso. I'm not going like, okay, there's 8 of them. I just kind of go with in the moment, and I'm like, okay, I'm speeding up, this feels fast enough, now go. But yeah, it's all choreographed, it's not improv.
How long have you been dancing for?
Like since I was 4 or 5. I don't remember the exact year, how many years that is now. I think it's like 16, 17, somewhere around there. Long time. I don't remember a time where I wasn't dancing, so.
Emma again?
I'm just curious if this is your first time being in the studio since everything kind of shifted, and what it was like if it was your first time or if it wasn't, to be back.
Yeah, so this is not my first time in a studio. I've been teaching dance in person for about a month now, with a combination of being in the studio and being outside. But this was my first time performing since anything has happened. So it was really nice. It was definitely strange doing it over Zoom, but I'm thrilled that this event is still happening, that there's ways to still get performance out there and not just feel like sitting ducks.
So this is just comment. I'm seeing another piece of yours, and I appreciate your use of a strong movements and.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you don't wanna speak up, you can use the chatting room to leave a message, and yeah, anything before we close this event, she can read it. Yeah. Any other question? Don't be shy. We have time. Emma again.
Sorry, I just have so many questions. But so you were saying that you've never done Sorry. So you're saying you haven't done a performance over Zoom, but you've performed this before. So how is it different performing it in front of a live audience and performing it now? Or was there anything different to you as a dancer?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I feel like it's different connecting, because like connecting through Zoom, no one's actually there, but you're all watching. And I can hear as you guys are all logging on, like there's people on there. So I definitely like performing it live better, but doesn't everybody? But it was interesting having both experiences now and kind of like reflecting on the differences and changes and all of that. I'm sure I'll at some point inevitably perform this piece again. It'll be different that time and time after that. So it always changes.
I'm just curious, how many people have kind of this experience before? Have you guys like coming to kind of Zoom performance before, or this is the first time? If you're first time, can you thumbs up? Yeah, maybe some people has already experienced like a Zoom performance before. Yeah, and then some of them is first time. Yeah, welcome. But it's so much better with their face. Like before was like a closing, so I can see really their like only initial and then some pictures. So I was nervous to talking because I don't know they're listening or is it working, so I couldn't check. But right now we can interacting, so this is so good. Okay, I think someone or so. So for was there any part of this dance that you found harder to do now than before?
I think, well, for one, it takes a lot of thigh work. And now that I'm not in college dancing all day, every day, my muscles are not as strong as they used to be. Anything, like specifically this guy was rather hard. It's a lot of like grounding myself in and trying not to just squeeze the crap out of my thighs. But yeah, a lot of it is more difficult than before. And I was kind of realizing that within the first hour of rehearsing, going, whew, okay, muscles aren't what they used to be. Here we go. But I made it work.
So do you envision maybe potentially developing this into a longer exploration?
I have thought about that. I really thought about putting the solo on someone else and seeing what that turns into. But I have definitely thought about turning it into something longer, but I haven't put a whole lot of thought into that. But it is an interesting question.
I'm curious, is it like a more pressure to you to do solo? Like this is like first Bachelor performance and then also we asking you to do solo.
I think as a solo, there's, at least for me, I feel like there's less pressure because it's a solo. So if I mess up, no one knows. If I decide to change it on the stage, no one knows. So I feel less pressure. And also, it's my choreography, so I can do it how I want. And it's not like, oh, well, you didn't engage this muscle before instead of this one or something like that. Like, it's 100% me. So I have no worries.
Cool. Some more questions. Does your muscle itches after that? Cause it look painful.
Yes. So I really have to make sure that I warm up well before I do this piece. And like I spent an hour warming up before this to make sure that I don't hurt anything. I'm still a little sore usually afterwards, but this is one piece that I'm usually like, if I'm gonna roll out after any dancing that I do, it better be this one. But yes, long story short, it does make my body sore, but I've found ways to incorporate other knowledge that I've learned from dance classes to make it not hurt as much. And also like, I choreographed this and I 100% did this to myself, so.
So how did you pick the name of the piece?
Yeah, so in college, I really liked changing, like taking the name and taking it in a different language or changing it in some way because it felt more emphasized, because also in other languages, there's different ways to say the same word, but I don't know. So I like changing things out of English often, but also I feel like this piece is kind of, it's a creature, it's a beast. Whether it's internally or performing it or just as is, it's a beast and a creature, and whatever that creature is up for everyone to decide. And whether that's some creature internally or visual creature, I like to leave it up for people to decide themselves. Yes, Yeah, so I actually added a few more sounds from today's piece as opposed to the last time, and I like adding more in. I really have to be careful about what I do though, so I'm not making a physical noise and like hurting my body. So like all these like kerplunks that you're hearing, I'm still like engaging different muscles. It's just not the one that you're hearing hitting the ground. So it still doesn't hurt, which I'm very, very proud of. But yeah, I like adding those in, and I've been trying to find more places to add in. And like, I also like in the silence that I can add breath in there and you can hear it. I don't know how well you could hear it over Zoom, but I like that in the silence you don't have the music. So you're hearing my breath of like, and I don't know, it gives more emphasis and I enjoy that. But I like Bye, Aunt Teresa and Grandma. Thank you for coming. No?
Some personal question. Any about?
I was gonna say, if you have any? Oh, there's. No, because I don't know if you caught, but most of this dance happens in like basically the same spot. So I did this dance actually on a much smaller stage before.
Oh, maybe can we say about the question too? So maybe some people.
Yes.
So does the size of the space limit your creative expression?
Yeah, so no, it doesn't. I didn't intentionally plan to choreograph the piece all in one spot, but it just happened that way. And I like that it all happens in one spot. Plus it makes it easy to perform in multiple places because I don't have to use a lot of space. So, but yeah.
What's your favorite style of dance?
My favorite style of dance is definitely modern. I do enjoy jazz as well, but modern is my forever love.
Why?
There's so much you can do with modern. You can it can be happy, it can be sad, it can be obnoxious. It has so much potential. And I guess all dance has so much potential, but I find that a lot of my impulses and creative ideas tend to lean towards modern.
Do you want to ask to your audience?
I like to ask this question for this piece. What did this piece make you feel?
Yeah. You can type it too. If you don't want to speak, you can type it. We can keep it up. Yeah, it's coming. If you need a little bit moment to think, we can wait. I just realized that how many computers we're using now. 3 computers, and then I'm checking my phone and
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that. Birth. Birth was actually a word that birth and rebirth were some words that I was playing with when I originally choreographed it. So that's funny.
Maybe can you read for this?
Yeah. So we had angst, birth, emergence, hope, expectant, frustration, and happy.
Do you agree with?
Oh, and stress and manic. Interesting. Strength. I'm just reading them as they come in. Nice. That's really. Balance is another one. Oh, interesting. It's interesting hearing a couple, when I choreographed this, I said it was kind of based off of stress. So all the words like stress, manic, angst, I'm yeah, yep, that makes sense. So it's interesting though hearing happy and balanced, and yeah, I'm really intrigued by that. That's cool that my stress creativity made someone else happy. That's awesome. Some other ones coming in are stress, breaking habit, cycle, and anxious. Fighting against restraints someone else placed on you. Nice. Nice. Growth. Balance, watching you control your changes in position. Happy to be able to see. Oh, thanks, Allie. Awesome. Yeah, that's the only question I have. Does anybody else have last minute questions they want to throw in?
So everybody did it? I think, yeah, almost people commented.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for your comments.
Yeah, I don't know, we can save this. I want to give you this.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing this piece at some point or another again. This piece always ends up sneaking up on me and going, hey, perform me again. So we'll see where it takes me next. And maybe I'll turn it into a longer piece or adapt things. Who knows what'll happen. But yeah, it's definitely a piece that I'm not willing to just like let gather dust for forever. So. Someone asked, how did I feel performing this today? I think to begin with, I was a little bit nervous because it was over Zoom and there's just so much technology involved. And I was like, okay, I hope this all works and the Wi-Fi works. And so there was all of that. But it felt good to perform this again. This piece is so strange because it's rough on the body, but it's like, I'm expressing, it feels good afterwards. So I'm always like exhausted and sore, but I feel like I've expressed creativity and whatever was on my mind that day. It's very kind of therapeutic in a way. So I always enjoy performing this piece. Thank you.
Great. So if you want, you can just last comment to Lachan. Thanks again, Emma and Casey, who made this show together. And we really wish to see you guys at the studio at some point. Yeah, we can feel each other. But still, I think this is a kind of work to me. Yeah. Yeah.
It was the first time for sure.
I love everyone's comments. Thank you all for your support. It means so much to me. It was fun, like everyone's coming on. Like there's so many people coming on. So
I'm just following this. We're gonna upload this video to our YouTube. So if you wanna share this video to your friend, family, feel free to share it. Good. So, do you want any last comment before we close it?
I'm good.
You're good? Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, and we hope to see you again. Everybody safe and happy. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye. Oh, they're leaving. Good. Thank you, Eric.